This is Sherman D. Manning, ladies and gentlemen. Sherman D. Manning. It's nighttime here. You got a parolee wrongly convicted of rape, trying to get a rape case overturned. We'll be successful. It'll just take some time to clear my name, to clear my record. And I know in the confines of my soul this is going to happen. But while on parole, I had to call the cops today, believe it or not. So I found myself in the back of a police car. Okay? Keep in mind, in Atlanta, Georgia, that's where my house is, that's where my cars are, that's where my everything is. And here, I've been working frantically to open a bank account so that I can, receive my money. I can't even get a Western Union with nothing. And so, my brother in Atlanta was kind enough to go and pick up a birth certificate for me. He mailed it to me overnight mail on Monday. So on Tuesday, I did not get it. So today, I called the post office and gave them the tracking number. And she said, "Sir, we delivered that to you yesterday at 11:30 in the morning." I said, "Ma'am, I was there at 11:30 in the morning, and you did not deliver it to me." So she said, "What is your address?" I gave it to her. And she said, "Oh my God, we delivered it to West 45th Street, which is the wrong address." Okay. All right. So I said, "So what do we do?" "It's my birth certificate." She said, "Oh, I will call the carrier and ask him to retrieve it." So she called the letter carrier and instructed him to go and retrieve the missive, which included my birth certificate. Thank God there was no cash money in it or anything. And so, she called me back approximately 1 hour later and said, "Mr. Manning, you need to call the police." I said, "Why?" And she said, "Well, the carrier reports that a big black lady came out of the house and said, 'I'm not going to give you crap back.'" And so, first of all, mail theft is a federal crime. Secondly, the woman did not say, "I don't have it," or "I didn't get it," which would have been, pragmatically, if she wanted to keep it, that would have been the thing to say. She said, "I'm not giving it back." So I found myself calling the police. I have no transportation in California, so everywhere I go in a taxi if it's not walking distance. I love to walk, and I did very little walking in prison, and it's a great way of staying in shape. So if something is within 30 minutes walking distance of me, I just do it and feel good while I'm doing it. And for instance, I'm walking now to go grab a burger. Okay, so the cop said, "Where are you?" And I told him where I was, and she said, "We'll send the cops out to you." So the cops came out, extremely professional. I think I told this story earlier, actually. In fact, I know that I did, so I'm repeating it now for those of you on the East Coast who perhaps did not hear it when I told it. So anyway, the cops took me, got in that car. I noticed the guy had his gun out and in his lap when they pulled up, to be quite frank with you. And I'm not offended at all, because with what's going on with guys killing cops, and yes, cops killing black men on a daily basis, I don't want to leave that out, because that is a fact of life. That is a fact of life. We've got some bad cops out there, and they need to be fired with all deliberate speed. And if they're killing someone, they need to be prosecuted with all deliberate speed. Period. So I want to get that out there. I want to give anybody the opportunity to claim that I'm not recognizing some of the things that are going on with the police. I believe in hands up, don't shoot. I know about 14 months, 15 seconds, and 16 shots. I know about Eric Garner. I watched him be murdered by the cops on television. I haven't missed a beat. I haven't missed any of that. That is wrong. It needs to be rectified with all deliberate speed. Period. But the cop had his gun in his lap, and I immediately held my hands up to let him know that I was unarmed, and he became very professional, he and his partner both. And they took me over, and they were able to use a ruse to retrieve my birth certificate. So I have it now, and now I'll see if I can start getting some money tomorrow. Okay, so now I'm running. This is a running podcast. I'm trying to get across the street. You find another podcast like this anywhere in the country, Tell me about it because I want to hear it. Ladies and gentlemen, I was thinking about what would have happened if I'd come out of prison with no money, which 80% of the guys who get out don't have any money. It would have been next to impossible to make it. We've got to fix this broken criminal justice system. Can I say this? As much as I'm concerned about the criminal justice system, I'm even more concerned about the pipeline that leads to the criminal justice system. The criminal justice system is being routinely fed by failing schools. And I'm oversimplifying it, but sometimes we overcomplicate that which needs to be simplified. But I'm just going to tell you, if they fail, they go to jail. The bottom line. When kids drop out of schools, they drop into gangs. When they drop out of schools in the 8th, ninth, and 10th grade, by the time they're 18 or 19 years old, 90% of them will be in prison. Period. So the first strategic action that needs to be taken by all of us, civil rights leaders, human rights leaders, activists and pacifists, church members and church pastors, mothers and fathers, sisters and brothers, what we need to do is begin to focus like a laser beam on educating our children. If they can read, if they can write, if they can think, if they can count, they won't go to prison. Education is inoculation against incarceration. That'll tweet right there. Education is inoculation against incarceration. So what we need to do is focus our energy, our time, our money, and our minds on getting our kids the best education that money can buy. We need to tutor them. We need to teach them. We need to reach them. And this is for every community, with a special emphasis on the black community because there's a problem in the black community. I told you earlier, I met so many guys in prison who could not read. And the ones who could read on the 3rd and 4th grade level. I was talking with Professor Benjamin Pack about that tonight. Professor Pack teaches at USC. As I said, he's 30-something, but he looks about 19 or 20 years old. I'd probably card him if he came to my establishment trying to purchase alcohol. But he's a writing expert, and he teaches writing. And I was telling him that is a major problem in the prison system. Most guys who are in prison are not educated. It's kind of self-explanatory. So the bottom line is, education is inoculation against incarceration. And I want to tell everybody listening to me, whether you're in Chicago or New York, Atlanta or Memphis, Tennessee, if you're in Charlotte, North Carolina, or Detroit, Michigan, wherever you are, focus on it, baby. Focus on it. Start your kids to reading. Reading opens up the mind to all kinds of possibilities. Reading is a passport from the ghetto to get more. And there's so many kids that I have met who have never left that side of town. They don't know anything about anything that's not on their side of town. That is a problem. That is a problem when you're limited by your neighborhood, when you're limited. This is like having burglar bars on your mind. People have to get out, go places, see things. Everybody can't go to Switzerland. Everybody can't go to Paris. Everyone can't go to Japan. But you can with a book. If you open up a book, it will take you anywhere in the world that you want to go. So we have got to focus on literacy. Literacy is very important. Literacy. Teaching people how to read, the power of reading. I could talk all day long. I could give a 5-hour lecture on what reading has done to transform my life, what it has meant to me, what it means to me, what it shall continue to mean to me. And so whatever it takes, We need to get college students and get these students to come and mentor these kids who are failing in elementary school as well as in high school and get them each one, teach one, and reach one. And I'm a living witness that there are volunteers available. Those people over at USC, those students are oozing with enthusiasm and they want to do something to help people. Out at Loyola Marymount, same thing, looking for someone to help. And so we have got to begin to organize and strategize. And I want some of these professors to just start programs, just kick them off. Just kick it off, set it off. If you don't want to help a prisoner, that's your business. If you don't want to help someone in jail, that's your business. But be willing to help someone stop and be prevented from going to jail. We need these professors to start urging and encouraging your students to go to lower and middle class neighborhoods and teach those students. Tutor them. Give them 2 or 3 hours worth of tutoring on Saturdays and or Sundays, and it will make a major difference. I'm telling you. Sherman D. Manning, get my book, The Truth About O.J. Simpson, Race, Class, Money, and Justice. Get my book, The Truth About O.J. Simpson, Race, Class, Money, and Justice. Brand new book, Race, Class, Money, and Justice. The Truth About O.J. Simpson. Get it at Amazon.com. Also get Creating Monsters. Also get my book, Kids Killing Kids. Also get my book, Blue-Eyed Blonde. Also get my book, Don't Mess with Texas. Also, I could go on and on. Take a look at those books. Get them. You'll be glad you did. But be sure you get The Truth About O.J. Simpson, Race, Class, Money, and Justice on Amazon.com or your local bookstores. Sherman D. Manning, y'all. Sherman D. Manning. Google me. Like me on Facebook. I'm out for now. Keep hope alive.